I'd rather the women win than the men. The women play tomorrow at 1:10 USA Canada. I'm much more invested in that now. Today was great, and I'm glad, of course, that USA got that goal to advance. Friday should be really cool. 2 games. Both games should be really cool. But that's the women's game is the one I want. It's not just
I respect that, but they're the favorite.
They're the favorite.
So
they're a pretty big favorite, especially for that rivalry. They've probably never been this big of a favorite against Canada ever.
Almost has to be correct. Yeah.
They were a pretty good favorite today against Sweden, the men.
Yeah.
It's just, isn't this true? And let's bring Paul on for this, that you're rooting for a team and it's almost worse, or this is just maybe something I have to figure out myself personally. It's almost worse when you've beaten a team already and even handily, and then you go into a rematch. They didn't have their captain in that first game, Canada. I like the quote from the Czech player today about playing Canada for the second time in the tournament, Paul. He said, we had to give them the first game because we knew we weren't going to beat them twice. He was right.
Right.
They almost beat them today.
Paul, do you remember? We were talking about this earlier because today when Canada was losing and they fell behind in the first period 2-1, it was the first time they were trailing with NHL players in the Olympic Games since the prelim game against USA, I think in 2010. What was that score? Do you remember? Did the USA beat them?
I think I do.
Comfortably, maybe like 5-2 or something.
No, I don't remember the score.
I wonder.
I remember USA won, but I don't remember.
I want to say 6-3.
Okay,
some kind of game like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that Ryan Miller,
and then obviously overtime for the gold.
Well, Paul, what are your thoughts on today's results? I'm sure you watched some of it, if not all.
Well, the Canada game, obviously, I was out with the Sabres, so I saw very, very little of that. I had it on my phone, as I'm trying to write or, watch practice, so I might have seen a play or two, but not really too many. First of all, I think Sweden should fire their coach, Sam Hallam. This guy is a clown. I mean, again, Rasmus Dahlin did not play in overtime. What are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? You didn't learn in the Four Nations when Carlson was out there twice in overtime, played a total of, I believe, 32 seconds in 2 overtimes, and was directly responsible for 1 goal and was standing there watching the other. Guess who was standing there watching the goal today? Number 65. And number 26 never got on the ice in overtime when he basically has been, if not your best player, the guy who gets the most minutes in almost every game on defense, has had a great tournament, has produced offensively, actually had taken Carlson's place on the number 1 power play. And I thought, well, I guess he's finally getting it. And then I'm watching during the tournament Carlson and Ekman Larsson killing penalties. Are you kidding me? Really? I would put forwards out there to kill penalties before I put those 2 out there. And it's just like, what is this guy thinking?
I wonder, Mike noticed, I did not notice it in the course of play, and then I saw a replay of it, that Dahlin took a pretty hard hit near the end of regulation, right before Sweden tied it up, I think.
Brady Tkachuk kicked his legs out.
Yeah, and he hit his head on the ice, Paul. I don't know if did you see this? He hit his head on the ice. He was deep in the offensive zone, and he lost his stick in the collision and grabbed his head with both hands. And then he ended up getting up and then played after that very quickly. Like he got to the bench and came back out for a shift before the game ended.
He's on when they
tie it, right. And I wonder if I don't want to alarm Sabres fans, but I wonder if something happened to him there, because it is weird that he's been so prominent most of what I've watched and didn't get on the ice in a 3-on-3.
I thought Forsling and Dahlin in the Four Nations played very well together.
Yep, me too.
And then I thought, okay, well maybe he's learned, because he was getting the most ice time in many of the games for Sweden. So I thought, all right, maybe he finally figured it out. And then I'm watching these coaching decisions, scratching my head, going, I just don't know what this guy's doing. I mean, they are so. Carlson is such a hero in Sweden. I guess he's the coach's hero too, because he's got to put him out in situations he doesn't belong out in. I mean, on a power play, yes, he's still a great offensive player. But you're on your heels in overtime. You got outshot 6-0. You've already cost Sweden 2 overtime games in the Four Nations, and you're gonna and he played a regular shift out there. Now Dahlin was in the handshake line, so he didn't leave the bench.
I did see that.
I think he did an interview too.
Oh, okay.
So that's a good sign.
I can't say that. Maybe he did get hurt. I don't know. I would not hope he got hurt, but that reason would make more sense.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find an explanation for it is all. Yeah.
I think the guy's an incompetent coach is the explanation.
Yeah.
And, Carlson and Hedman are these, icons in Sweden, and so they're going to play no matter what, I guess. Hedman not so much in this tournament because he's coming off injury, but in the last one, and I just don't get it. I really don't.
Well, how about Team USA?
Yeah, I mean, persevered. Hellebuck, just like the Four Nations, and I said this then too, I still truly believe the reason he has problems in the playoffs with the Winnipeg Jets is because of the amount of games he plays by the end of the year. And then I just don't think he has any gas left, for the Winnipeg Jets in the playoffs. We're still in February here, and I think he still has gas in the tank. And, Markstrom made some really good saves in overtime.
Yep.
One-timer, I believe, on Eichel.
Mm-hmm.
I think he made another one on Matthews, if I'm not mistaken. And had to make 6 saves to none at the other end for Hellebuck. But Hellebuck had to make saves, too, along the way. And, only gave up 1 goal, and I think has done a good job in this tournament. But this certainly isn't on the goaltenders, watching this hockey game. And I think they both came to play. I think Sweden at least did make the right goaltending decision to start Markstrom. He wasn't the starter in the first 2 games, but Sweden, I don't think, was delighted with their goaltending, and they made the switch. And obviously, I think that was the right decision for them in this. And Hellebuck again has done the job for Team USA.
I suspect that I'm going to get an answer that's going to lead to behind the bench again when I ask you what you think of the way Tage Thompson is being used here. I mean, obviously that's a coach's decision, and I haven't seen the ice times yet from this game. I know he was on the ice for the goal they scored in regulation, and right at the goal mouth when Larkin tipped that point shot in. But he's been playing like 9 minutes a game basically through the tournament on the power play, and he scored 2 power play goals. So I think that keeps him in the lineup. But as far as forwards go, he's at the very, very low end of usage.
Yeah, he is. And I don't think it's anything on Thompson. I don't think that the U.S. thinks Thompson is playing poorly or anything like that. I just think that it's
he's outranked.
Just say it. The New York Ranger coach trying to get his New York Rangers into the lineup, and you can dress an extra forward and an extra defenseman, and they do. And the extra guy has been either Miller the first game, and then Trocheck after that. And he is just bound and determined that he's going to get his guys in there. And it's that line. He targeted Thompson the first 2 times, and then the next shift it was Connor that he sat. And while Keller is sitting in the press box, I'm scratching my head about that, going, why? But he was. And then Keller gets in, but all right, now you're going to send Connor to the press box. Not the 2 Rangers who actually should be sitting at home, not in your press box. They shouldn't even have a uniform on. And so it has nothing to do with Thompson. It has more to do than, the New York Rangers GM put them on the team, and now the New York Rangers coach is going to make sure that the 2 of them get their ice time, no matter how he does it. And that's the way it goes.
Send them home and make them watch from a press box in an empty building. There. Double penalty.
That'll learn them.
That's right.
I don't mean send them home. I mean they should have been home to start with.
Right. Leave them home and make them watch the games from a press box somewhere.
I mean Cole Caulfield or whatever. There's
I'd
a
go
list.
with Robertson's a better 2-way player.
Yeah. Okay.
But still, Yeah, so I just want to stress, I really don't think it has anything to do with Thompson, and it has everything to do with Trocheck and Miller.
Yeah, well, at least he's, like I said, he has scored the goals, so I wouldn't expect him to be in any trouble moving into now the semifinals on Friday, and hopefully what we've all been waiting for is, at least speaking for myself, is a Canada-U.S. showdown Sunday morning. In the gold medal game. Paul, you said, just switching off of this game, I know you didn't have eyes on a lot of the Canada game, but I've seen you retweeting the go-ahead goal that Chechia scored in the third period. And I did not know this until I found out listening to Brad and Owen before our show. I heard Owen mention that they had 6 guys on the ice for that play. Yeah. And not only was it 6 guys on the ice, it was like 6 guys in their own zone defending, basically, and then all 6 guys went up the ice and celebrated the goal ultimately. Like, nobody thought, I better get to the bench. And what I've not seen or heard, it doesn't matter now because Canada won the game in overtime. They tied it and then won it in overtime, so spilled milk, I guess, right? But holy cow, was Canada up in arms? Was anybody yelling? Like, usually, you've been in rinks, even in NHL games with crowds, you hear a commotion on the opposing bench when there's too many men on the ice. And I can't believe that went by for the amount of time that it went by and nothing got called. It was incredible.
I would imagine there was commotion. Again, I didn't see it live. Right. I saw what I retweeted where it was 6 guys were in the play. It wasn't like the too many men you get sometimes where you're making a change and some guy gets the puck hit his skate as he's leaving and it winds up too many men. It was like 6 guys were in the zone.
Yeah, and nobody was acting like, oh, God, I better get off. Like, they just were playing.
And I can't imagine everybody on the U.S. bench would have been oblivious to it.
Canada, you mean? Yeah.
Or the Canada bench would be oblivious to it. I just
That's the key. That's the key to getting away with it. Like, when you're maybe at a game or something where you're not supposed to be in a certain area, but you look like you belong there. You just sort of keep your eyes focused straight ahead, or wear a tie to a baseball game. They're going to let you go anywhere with a tie on. You're probably the assistant GM. So here are the Czech guys. I respect it. Just what do you mean? Deny. I'm out here. What do you mean? There are 6 of us. If I were you, I'd count again.
That's how we play.
Go for 7.
We always do this. What are you talking about?
How do you think we scored? I mean, give us a break here.
Yeah.
By the way, you were talking about Thompson in the goal. What I liked about the Larkin goal is Thompson was headed to the net.
Right.
I mean, he was right there right at the net. So had Larkin made the deflection and it hit the pad, he would have been right there.
Right.
So
Markstrom could have made a save and you got an easy tap in.
Yeah, he was right where he needed to be, which I liked.
He was trying to separate from a defenseman, sort of turning around to be available for a rebound there as the puck went in. Mm-hmm. Were the players today talking about the Olympics? And if not, what was the conversation like?
Well, one player would be talking about it, and that's Josh Dunn, who I learned today, I didn't realize his girlfriend plays on Team Canada.
Right, I'd heard
Shelton.
that, yeah.
I had to go scrambling to see who's his girlfriend. And it's Ella Shelton they went to the same college together. So that's where they met. And she's on Team Canada. And Joy, his sister, is on Team USA. He did go to Italy and saw 3 games during the break. So that's nice that he made it there and got to see his girlfriend and his sister play. And he said he was at the first Canada-U.S. game. And as I was looking up his girlfriend, I saw a video of his dad calling him Benedict Arnold. Because, he's going to sit with us, the Team USA section, but Benedict Arnold's going to show up here. I guess he didn't like his, cheering for his girlfriend, too. It was pretty funny.
Joy Dunn, his sister, has scored in the tournament. I'm not sure how many, but she scored pretty early on.
Mm-hmm. And she plays professionally in Minnesota in the Women's Professional League.
We got about 5 minutes here left, Paul, at the most. Just everybody's back. Not everybody's back, but many of the players are back. You've got some injury updates for us, I'm sure.
Yeah, Lindy Ruff went through a big injury update. He said Luukkonen skated this morning, and he said he's within days of joining them. Benson was getting further evaluation today. I was wondering if maybe he was trying to get clearance from the doctor because, as Ruff put it, he's getting further evaluation today. We'll find out whether he joins us tomorrow or not. So that kind of indicates to me he was trying to get maybe final approval to be in practice. Greenway, Ruff's quote was he's trying a different type of treatment. He'll be out a period of time, and we'll see if it works and he can get back. And they're not putting a time frame on that. Timmins and Danforth are both skating, both progressing, but they both are still going to be a period of time before they return. And Kulik, it's a protocol for blood clots that he's under. He said Kulik will be evaluated again in early March, and then they'll use that evaluation to see where they're going from here. We'll see. He said we'll see if he can move forward with the protocol or needs to stay where he is with the protocol. But that seems to be coming in early March to see where that goes.
And what about Norris and or Dunn? Like, were they in different colored jerseys?
They were, and Ruff said if they got through today, okay, they will ditch those colored jerseys and have regular jerseys on tomorrow. So if they both got through okay, and they both spoke after practice, they both seem fine. So yeah, it seems like they're pretty much okay. And as the week progresses, they probably are going to be in full practice. They did a lot of competing drills today, quite honestly. I saw Norris in those, so I know he had a different color jersey on, but it seemed to me like he was basically doing everything in practice. So, he looked pretty good, and we'll see where Benson's doctor's appointment took him.
The red jerseys don't have numbers on the back, do they?
No, they take the names and numbers off after training camp. We get to see names and numbers through prospects camp and training camp, and then once the season starts, no more numbers, no more names. Because I get this in play-by-play too. I know who shoots left, who shoots right. I really don't need numbers. I can figure out who's who rather quickly.
Yeah.
Basically, with the way they shoot and their mannerisms, it's rare that I can't figure out who somebody is without numbers on, just because you see them enough that you just know what their mannerisms are.
Sure. You know these guys individually, too.
They move around the ice, right?
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. And you always know who can shoot right. A young broadcaster or a young journalist, that's what I tell them. I said, well, learn who shoots left and who shoots right. I said, you'll basically know who folks are once you get that down.
One of these days, they should try to mix it up on you.
Change hands.
How
There's been a switch hitter.
How adept would most hockey players be at shooting from the other side?
Shooter.
We're always talking about which goaltender to the three has his own net the day before the game, and he's probably the starter, which he always is. Lindy could switch that up one day and put the starter in with the other goalie and have us all reporting who we think the starting goalie is and be wrong.
Well, I may or may not look forward to that day. We'll see if it ever comes. Paul,
he did
thanks.
It once on purpose, quickly.
Did he?
In warm-up, he switched the lines around and then had different lines to start the game and basically did it on purpose.
I mean, you need things like that in life to keep life interesting. Just mix it up. Thanks for your time, Paul.